you know, John, when you're doing cruise, when we're flying, there's a pitch, that's the nose relative to the horizon.
So when you're at cruising altitude, you are pitched up.
From like 2 to 3 degrees. Try to walk from the tail to the nose.
I have noticed that, and it is a little uphill.
It's a workout, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. But please don't do that in the flight, because then you're going to get escorted back.
Seatbelt signs were off, Howard. I had to get the blood flowing. First captain told me.
Don't go around dropping things now.
Fun fact, though. That's a great fun fact.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today. My name is John Drummond, or Young Howard.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎各位再度来到 NG 英文，我是 Angela。We
have a great episode for you today with my new friend Howard, who's known around the Taiwanese and professional community as Howard Hsu.
是的，今天 NG 英文非常幸运，终于邀请到了之前航空签派员 Emily 的空中飞人老公来到节目上，跟听众朋友们分享他在人人好奇的这个航空业的故事。
My guest today is Taiwanese, however, he has grown up all over the world. He is a pilot, an author, a self-proclaimed nerd, and so much more. So everyone, please welcome my new friend, Howard.
Hi everyone. Hi John.
Boom. What's up, Howard? Thank you so much for joining us today on NG Ingwen, my brother. Dude, you are awesome. So a little backstory. We had Emily, your wife, on the show maybe about a year ago at this point, and we kind of mentioned you in passing.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, all bad stuff, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All bad stuff, Emily. And, she was like, yeah, it'd be great to get my husband on the show, but he's traveling all the time because he's a pilot.
She's always tried to get me,
Yeah.
Get me in trouble,
I'm so glad we had some time, and you're here. So welcome to the show. Could you give a little high level? Who is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Howard?
Thanks, John. First of all, thanks for having me. It's my pleasure. Just really quick, my name is Howard. Hello, everybody. I'm 32 years old, and I'm a soon-to-be father of 2. Right now, I only have a 2-year-old at home, and Emily and I were expecting our second child in October.
Woo! Congrats, dude. What?
So that's like the biggest thing right now for me, because now I work as a pilot for one of the major airlines in Taiwan. I fly the 777 as a cruise captain, which is a more senior position than the first officer, and but not quite as high as a full functioning captain. So kind of in between. I think in one of your previous shows, you guys talk about the ranks on the flight deck, but basically you get the captain sitting on the left seat and you have the first officer sitting on the right seat. My main job, in addition to being a first officer, is to relieve the captain during cruise, such as a flight from Taipei to Los Angeles. Those take 13 to 16 hours, depending on the wind. So the captain can't be on the flight deck the whole time. So during the time when he goes to the bunk, and I'll be relieving him.
So cool. Flying the 777. Yes. The 777. Boeing, potentially, with this 777, or Airbus. Is that right?
Right. But, you know what they say, right? If it's not Boeing, I'm not going, right?
I wonder if people are changing that slogan, though, lately.
Yeah, the Netflix show?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So cool. Flying the biggest airplanes right now, commercial airliners, and it's a cool title. Say that title again. You're not the first captain. You're not the main pilot. You are the...
in Taiwan, they call it a cruise captain or a senior first officer.
So cool.
Yeah.
Cruise captain. That sounds pretty badass.
Second in command.
Second in command. So cool. Thanks for giving us the visual of that. Thank you. I'm a visual guy, so yeah. I pictured you actually just flying to LA right there.
Yeah, there we go. We're on our way. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I do that flight with your airlines quite often from Taipei to LAX, so shout out to you guys. I love that you are now in aviation. You seem to be such a lover of facts and knowledge about aviation, and I was hoping though we could start with kind of the origin story of you getting into aviation.
Sure. Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned how I like facts. Well, I'll just be honest. I'm a super nerd. I'm the kind of guy.
Nerds are in
nerds
for 2022.
I'm the kind of guy who just like I'll start doing research on Wikipedia. I'm maybe reading up on I don't know, like aerodynamics, whatever. Then I'll end up reading the Spanish Inquisition. Just
I love that.
Yeah.
You're a curious guy. That's so beautiful, though. I hope you never change. So keep going with that.
Oh, thanks, John. Yeah. But in terms of my origin story, like a Marvel character, right? When I was younger, my dad was in the Navy. So you can say he's always been my role model. He still is. And you can say he's my inspiration. He encouraged me to get into this industry. But when I was younger, when I was a kid, we would always talk about like ships, battleships, ships, planes, whatever, So that piqued my interest at a very young age. And when we were living in Taipei, on the weekends, he would take us to my brother and I. He would take us to that airplane alley near Songshan.
Ah, yes, where the planes land.
Yes,
love that.
Great spot to go plane spotting.
Yes.
Just inhale all the exhaust,
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
but
blast,
also see all the cool planes because
Yeah.
so many planes actually fly in and out of Songshan Airport.
Yeah.
But that little alley is mostly the landing. I guess unless the wind changes, right? From what I've learned.
Yeah.
I have flown a few times now.
Yeah. But with the prevailing wind in Taipei, you depart the other direction. So in the airplane alley, whatever it's called, most of the time you will encounter approaching traffic.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So planes coming in from the east, I believe, or the west, right? That's the west. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Shout out to your dad. Sounds like he's been a great role model and still is a great role model. And it's so cool now because Howard, you have a great career in aviation, but Emily and you have now just co-authored an incredible book, kind of about fun facts, really, about aviation. Is that right?
Yeah, like I said, biggest nerd that you meet.
He's the biggest nerd. He wrote a nerd book about aviation, and I love it.
It's for aviation geeks, so I guess, we're in a good crowd. So the book I wrote, it's called, in English, it's called The 50 Facts That All Airplane Aviation Fans Should Know. Or in Chinese, it's called 飞机迷都想知道的50个超知识. It's interesting because during the pandemic, everybody's staying at home. I was quarantining. I was traveling, but I was quarantining here or abroad. And my good friend Brian called me. He's like, "Hey Howard, hey, you want to write a book together?" So I was like, "Yeah, I'm down." So Brian called me, and then let me get my wife involved, Emily, and the three of us. We can just pool our collective knowledge together. Let's come up with 100 facts, but we end up with 50. But let's just try to do something with our time, write something, make something of our own. So that's the whole motivation or inspiration behind the book.
I love that. Using your downtime, your pandemic time, so wisely. I can't think of how many people created a book during the pandemic, and you did. So cool. And it's about fun facts of aviation. Important facts, really. More of the kind of the science and aerodynamics and stuff like that. Would any fun facts stick out to you that you just love or you feel like you should share about planes and flight?
For example, did you know, John, when you're doing cruise, you're flying straight level, right?
Right. So cruise is at kind of the highest altitude, right? When you're reaching cruising altitude, is that right?
Mm-hmm. So you're neither taking off, climbing, nor descending. You're in transit.
Got it. So we call that cruise. Yes.
Cruise.
Keep going. Gotcha.
You think you're level, but you're actually pitched up at an angle. Had you ever noticed?
That makes sense, though, essentially because the air needs to go under your nose to be hitting your wings to keep you at least be. That's how my science is thinking right there.
Right, but the aircraft is designed to keep that angle for efficiency.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just barely, not noticeable to a passenger.
But the aircraft is incredibly long, right? So try to walk from the tail to the nose. It's
I have noticed that, and it is a little uphill.
It's a workout, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. But please don't do that in the flight, because then you're gonna get escorted back.
The seatbelt signs were off, Howard.
You're like, hey, this guy, Howard, he said, it's a simple workout,
I had to get the blood flowing.
But
First captain told me.
in a book Emily wrote about when she was younger, she actually dropped a marble on the floor and rolled all the way to the back. So also don't go around dropping things now.
Fun fact, though. That's a great fun fact. Yeah, you're at a slight up angle. So if you need to get the blood flowing and the seatbelt sign is off, maybe you can take a quick up and down.
So your meal tray is actually tilted a little bit up too, so to keep your food level.
Whoa. So the design, I just love this. That's making my brain think about all fun things. Yeah, so the tray actually is slightly tilted up
Right.
when you put it down to help balance it out. So beautiful. Awesome, Howard. Well, congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
I hope you have I hope you continue to have a wonderful career in aviation, and I love that you are just so happy to be in this industry? It seems like you just care about it, and I love that.
I love it. I love my job. In the last few years, I think the FIRE movements got pretty popular.
Can I interrupt here? FIRE, financially independent, retire early. Yes.
But for me, I don't want to retire early. I wanna do what I do until I can't anymore.
That's beautiful.
And then some.
You found something you really care about, and I love that. I'm so happy for you.
节目上半段这边，我们这位超级奶爸兼波音777空中飞人的来宾，马上呢就跟大家介绍了他们飞机驾驶舱里机长的等级之分。好，有副驾驶、巡航驾驶跟正驾驶。那来宾他目前呢是等级比副驾高，但还没有达到机长级别的巡航驾驶员。好，就是副驾以上，正驾未满这样子。那正驾驶机长坐驾驶舱的左边，副驾呢坐右边，跟开车一样嘛，对不对？那如果是像来宾这样子是一名巡航驾驶的话呢，就会两边都坐。机长休息的时候坐左边负责开飞机，那人家休息完回来之后呢，就是再回到右边去坐。接着来宾他也分享到，他当初会加入航空业，其实也是因为他爸爸其实是海军出身，所以他们从小常常都会听到爸爸分享各种海军的这个有关海啊、船啊这些事情。那爸爸也都会鼓励他们长大后呢，也可以走类似的职业道路。加上除了船舰以外，他们也都会去台北松山看那个飞机降落，有没有？好，如果有去过的朋友，大家都知道那边那个画面真的是蛮酷、蛮震撼的。飞机呢，就是直接在你头上飞下来。好，所以大概就是这样子，从小耳濡目染，让我们来宾呢对这样子的职业生涯跟他从小看到他的飞机产生兴趣，也就默默的踏上了飞行的生活，甚至后来还跟太太利用疫情期间待在家里的空档，一起出了一本书，介绍各种飞机知识。好，大家如果有兴趣的话呢，可以去找找这一本叫做《飞机迷都想知道的50个超知识》。好，有没有直接线上给他打书打起来？人家打歌，我们打书。那其中一个他们刚有分享到冷知识是飞机机体的这个飞行姿态。好，就是说飞机在飞的过程中呢，跟地面水平线其实不完全是平行，而是有一个小小的夹角。我们都知道起飞的时候那个机头高机尾低嘛，对不对？就有点倾斜，然后降落的时候就是相反。但殊不知呢，其实在飞机起飞降落之间，在他们说的这个 cruising 在巡航期间以稳定速度前进的时候，他们的机头也一样是有微微倾斜翘起来的耶。难怪每次在飞机上走路都有点像是在走那个跑步机嘛，走上坡这样。这个字我们来练习一下。刚才前面来宾有提到驾驶舱里面飞行员的级别之分，对不对？那大家记得有分成哪3种吗？对，比较低的就是 First Officer， 也就是我们讲的这个副驾驶。那再上去一点比较资深的话，就变成是 Cruise Captain， 或者是也可以说 Senior First Officer， 巡航驾驶员。那最后呢才会是 Captain 机长，就是我们的副正驾驶。那他们在飞机上的驾驶舱，除了可以用刚才来宾说的这个 flight deck 来表示以外，一般呢也会有人说 cockpit。好，这2种说法都会通。好，那我们就话不多说，赶快继续听下半段的飞行故事。
Do you mind, though, if we switch gears a little bit?
Sure.
Something you touched on it kind of at the beginning of the show. You spoke a little bit about being in transit. Hey, that's a pun for us. Being in transit between a Western mindset and an Eastern mindset.
Sure.
America and Taiwan.
Sure.
Could you share a little bit about how language maybe played into that role in your life?
Yeah, of course. That's a good question. I have to do a little bit of soul searching, dig a little bit deep down, self-identity, that sort of thing. It gets pretty complicated. But no, from the beginning, went to Houston when I was about 4, and then I went to pre-K there. I was a kid, I didn't really care about language or learning. I was just playing. I would play with the kids on the block. That's all I care about. That got me started, honestly. Because then my mother tongue is Mandarin. but there's no way I can play with the kids, the neighbors, there's no way I can play with them if I only speak Mandarin. So the few years I spent there, that got me started speaking English. And that also, that was the early 90s, so I was watching a lot of TVs. Power Rangers, that was my favorite.
Yes. I love Power Rangers.
I think I was a big fan of Barney and Friends.
Really?
Is that a show?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it survived.
Okay.
The attention span these days.
But that also got me really interested in dinosaurs, now I think about it. Yeah, Jurassic Park. Yeah, that got me started with my English learning journey. I hope it's not a cliche to say I learned a lot from just watching a lot of TV and movies.
Yeah, I mean, you were a curious child, you're a curious man now, and I think that fed perfectly into it. You were just wanting to watch interesting things, and it happened to be you were watching in English. So, I mean, shout out to your parents who maybe allowed you to also explore that, because maybe they were like, hey, you can only watch Mandarin shows or movies. So thinking a little bit about that too, you had both languages really at home, right? You wanted to play with your friends outside using English, but at home you had to use Mandarin. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, I was incredibly lucky. My parents are super open-minded. We, they pretty much gave me free reign to do whatever I wanted to do. We spent a few years in Houston. We came back. Also incredibly lucky because I got to finish elementary school here in Taiwan, so I got a pretty good foundation in terms of my Mandarin and my Taiwanese cultural, development, But then we moved back again when I was 13, so I kind of got the best of both worlds.
So now thinking about aviation, I know the language of aviation is English, but are you then still able to use Mandarin with different captains or crew members, or how does that work actually in a kind of day-to-day of your life now?
Your listeners might find this interesting if they want to be in the aviation industry, if they want to get into flying. English is the official language of the skies. I mean, if you want to fly, you gotta speak English. The International Civil Aviation Organization actually has 6 levels of English skills, I guess. You have to be above a level 4 to get your to be qualified to be a flying pilot. Level 4 meaning you are fluent in operational English. So I guess you have to be at least fluent.
Does that apply for everyone in the plane or just as a pilot?
Just for the pilot.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So what is let's say you're flying. Are you flying most of the time with other foreign pilots, or are you flying with Taiwanese pilots, and how's that go? What's like? I just love picturing you in the sky right now. You're up there for 13 hours. What do you do?
I get asked that question a lot. What do you guys do? I mean, you guys just let the autopilot fly the plane, right?
Yeah. Majority of the time, right? That's probably protocol, though, right?
Yeah. But I really appreciate the fact that in the aviation industry, it's very diverse. We have pilots from all over the world working here in Taiwan. They're all based in Taiwan, so they all live here. They have their families here. We have people from South America, people from Europe, people from Southeast Asia, people from Korea, people from Japan, from all over the world. But the common thing is that we all communicate in English, because what else will we be speaking in? I only know Mandarin and English. They know, for example, like Spanish and English. Of course we're going to be talking in English. But yeah, so when we're sitting there, we'll be talking in English. People from so many different backgrounds with different interests and different hobbies. I get to know a little bit about their culture, what's different than mine. So that's the part I really enjoyed a lot, is to learn about why they get into aviation, how they end up in Taiwan, how do they find Taiwan. It's always interesting. So that's what I like to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Yeah, being able to kind of connect with them and see the way they think, the way their mind is working, thinking about problems or just day-to-day life. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Awesome, Howard. Well, unfortunately, we are coming to the end of the show right there.
Oh, okay.
It goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I have like all these jokes lined up for you.
Give them to me one by one right now. That was a great one right there.
Yeah.
But a question I'd love to end the show with is, if you could go back and talk to a younger Howard, would there be any advice you give yourself about flying, writing books now, anything?
If I have a way to talk to myself, a younger version of myself, I'll be like, hey, Howard, sit down. Listen, in a few years, there will be this thing called Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
Go sell your Honda Civic and just go all in on that, and then diamond hand that through Kingdom Come, and then you wouldn't even need to worry about English or aviation. You can do whatever you want with the money.
You're like the 20th person from all different industries who has said that. What's going on right now?
Well, we missed out. I remember vividly. When I read, I forgot was it. But anyway, I saw the news that a guy bought like a Papa John's pizza for 10,000.
Two Papa John's pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin.
10,000. I remember that day. I remember exactly what I was doing that day, and then I thought, this is crazy. This is like peak market mania.
Yeah. I do think, though, as I have studied blockchain, most sane people, if they would have invested in Bitcoin, would have probably sold a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it reached $1.
Yeah.
I need to get profits. And
so
I doubt they would have held this long.
So the second thing I'll tell myself is, hey, yeah, diamond and that, Yeah, no.
Got it.
But seriously though, if I have to give myself an advice, give advice to a younger version of me, it would be just to be comfortable with the person you are. When we're younger, we always feel pressured to conform with your peers and to do what other people like to do. To dress the way how other people dress like. But if I can just tell myself, hey, just be who you are. You're super awesome. Don't worry about other people like you, or don't worry about what other people say. Just have fun. Just enjoy yourself, because you're never gonna get that time back.
Just wear the pilot's captain uniform if you want to.
There we go.
I love it. Great advice to your younger self and everyone listening. Beautiful. Awesome, Howard. Well, where can people maybe find your book online? Where can they find more about your life online?
I think the book is sold through all major bookstores in Taiwan, so you can probably find it. The name is called 飞机迷都想知道的50个超知识. Yeah, and we checked. It's actually on the shelf.
Hey, there we go. Awesome. Well, congratulations. I love that you love what you're doing. That's a beautiful thing in this world. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for having me, John. And thanks to Angela. She's pretty awesome.
Shout out to Angela.
Shout out to Angela.
She is awesome. I love her. Peace.
节目下半段这边，来宾提到他4岁跟家里搬到美国的时候，当然就是不会讲英文嘛，对不对？虽然跟家里附近的小朋友还是一样可以一起玩啦，但就你知道不太能够讲话，不太能够对话沟通。还好呢，后来因为看了很多电视电影，学了不少，像是侏罗纪公园啦，还有金刚战士等等，都对他的英文学习之路有莫大的帮助。那因为后来又有回台湾念完小学，才又搬到美国，就也让他打下了扎实的中文基础，整个就是双语流利这样子。好，不管是在航空业工作上的英文需求，还是单纯就跟来自各国的飞行伙伴交流，都没有问题。最后的部分，来宾说啊，他会很想要去告诉以前自己，赶快把那台喜美卖掉，然后比特币买起来，以后就没有后顾之忧了。好，没有啦，我们不是财经理财节目，不是财经小姐姐我们每个人的理财想法都不一样，还是要找专业的这边就是他们单纯做分享 OK。 另外他也有提到我们人生苦短嘛，对不对？不用那么在乎人家怎么看你啊，在乎说人家穿什么，人家做什么，是不是也要一起跟风，不然就没朋友之类的。好，不用，我们就做自己就好了，做自己好自在，对不对？好，那结束之前我们来听2个片语，一个是刚才来宾提到他在台湾把中文底子打稳，然后搬到美国后也因为地缘关系英文也学起来，让他能够中英都学，中英都通，这样子就是有 the best of both worlds。 好，从字面上这句片语我们很容易可以发现，就是在表达2个世界里最好的这样子的一个概念嘛。那用中文简单来说就是双赢，就是两全其美，2种不同处境的好处都得到了这样子。例如你今天可能远端在家工作好了，那在家工作的好处就是不用出门，省通勤省时间，然后又有钱赚，好，对不对？这时候呢就可以说 You have the best of both worlds。另外一个是跟 block 街区有关，刚才来宾不是有提到他以前还小还不会讲英文的时候，虽然能够跟家里附近的小朋友玩，但是就是没办法跟人家讲话沟通嘛，对不对？那这边讲的这个家里附近的小朋友， 或者是简单说就是邻居嘛。当然我们可以就是直接就说 neighbors 邻居，但如果是想要有点变化，用其他方式来表达的话呢，就可以像刚才来宾说的 kids on the block， 街头巷口的这个小朋友，街坊邻居这样子。但有时候如果你听到有人说那个某某某是 the new kid on the block， 就变成是有点是把这个意思做延伸，表示这位某某某呢是新来的意思。好，不管是公司里面的 new kid on the block， 还是说教室学校，都是可以用来表示新来的这样。好，那另外有时候也会有 around the block 这种用法，通常是分2种意思啊，一个是附近，像假如你说我去家里附近走路去散个步， I'm just going to walk around the block。 好，或者是那小店杂货店 It's just around the block， 就是在街口，就在巷口附近这样子而已。好，除了这个附近的意思以外，它也可以用来表示很有经验。例如今天如果说公司某位新来的这个 new kid on the block， 其实呢 has been around the block。 好，就是说人家虽然新来的新加入的，但其实也是颇有经验这样子。好，那今天一样希望大家在我最后一次现身的这一集呢，也有学到一些东西。这3年来非常感谢大家的支持，不嫌弃我天籁般的声音。好，没有啦，开玩笑的，大家大概不敢嫌啦齁。好，那大家有兴趣的话呢，可以去找找看他们来宾讲的这本书。那从今往后也要继续多多收听我们新团员的解说哦。拜拜。
All right. Well, that is the end of our NG Ingwen show for today. I just wanted to give a special thank you and goodbye to our wonderful co-host, Angela Ma. Angela has been with us since the beginning, and this show would be nothing without her constant commitment to helping us learn about foreigners and Taiwanese here in Taiwan. We love you so much, Angela. We wish you so much success in your next chapter of life. And thank you from all of us here at Xi Pingfang, ICRT, and me personally with NG Ingwen. Bye, Angela. With the closing of this chapter with Angela Ma, we will be welcoming in a wonderful new co-host with me named Steph. I can't wait to show you more about her life here in Taiwan and all over the world, and you can get to know her week by week. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.